Our guest speaker, may I call on Mrs. Cecilia L. Espende, Master Teacher 1.
To Dr. Randy E. Andales, our Public Schools District Supervisor in District 1A, to our dearest Principal, Edgardo E. Sancho, faculty and staff of Maria Rosario Araneta Elementary School, beloved parents and pupils, a very pleasant afternoon. If one takes a closer look at alchemy of the achieving person, two distinct virtues pop up. Besides perseverance and hard work, these are pioneering spirit and willingness. Our guest of honor and speaker today is the living idiom of a woman who happened to be one of my former grade 1 pupil, coupled with an impressive background. It was not therefore surprising that she became a successful medical practitioner. Our guest speaker graduated her elementary years at Maria Rosario Araneta Elementary School as first honors. A consistent Tagalog declaimer since grade 1, 3 to 6, second runner-up. Was an active GSP member since grade 2 to grade 6. She was a science fair representative in the year 2009 as second runner-up. Science Quiz B as second runner-up. A regional representative in Tacloban Spelling Guest Quiz B. She was a school representative in Mathematics Quiz B and a Social Studies Quiz B. She graduated her high school in the year 2004 as 10th honorable mention at Ramon Torres National High School. Cooking contest winner. First year active members of Girl Scout of the Philippines. Tagapaglunsod School newspaper writer. Regional representative in baking contest. A Red Cross member. Science camp facilitator. Peer counselor. Cheerleader champion. Lead in role-playing English and Filipino. President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo's awardee as excellent student during her 4th year. In 2008, graduated her college as cum laude and Bachelor of Science in Nursing at Riverside College. Clinical Satisfactory Awardee for 2 years as staff nurse at Dr. Pablo Torre Memorial Hospital in 2010 to 2012, 2012 to 2014. Staff nurse in Inaya Medical City, Dammam, Saudi Arabia, 2014 to 2019. Staff nurse in Doha Healthcare Agency, Qatar, 2021. Presently employed as staff nurse in Lewis Clinic Home in Melbourne, Behring, Berlin, Germany. She is the daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Nilo Miliena, a beautiful, strong-willed woman. Ladies and gentlemen, let us give a round of applause to our beloved guest speaker, Miss Imalin Abindan Miliena.
To our beloved principal, dear teachers, class 2021, proud parents, guests, a pleasant afternoon. I am Emmeline Miliena, a fellow alumnus of this alma mater. First, allow me to thank Miss Cecilia Espende for inviting me to be the guest speaker of today's momentous event. Honestly, I wanted to decline the invitation like I have been doing in the past. Yes, I have received several offers before to be a guest speaker, but I politely declined for the very same reasons that I have in mind. First is that I don't know if I have enough experience to share with you. Second is I am always outside the country since I am an OFW. I work abroad. And And the last thing is that I don't know if I have a story to tell. Since, as I can remember, during elementary and high school life, it's not that I have an easy life, but at least a good one. Like, I don't have any difficulties with my academics. I have a parents that supported me all throughout. They supported me and provided all of my needs. But there comes my college years, where I and my brother shared at least 2 years, 1 or 2 years in college together. And we know for a fact that sending children in college in our country is really expensive. So I only have 70 pesos as my allowance per day. And I have to ride two jeepneys, like from Sampinit going to shopping and shopping going to Riverside. And if ever I will lose 5 pesos, I will not be able to go home anymore. I all I also need to pack my lunch every day just to save the money, because the other money that is left with my allowance will be used for the surprise projects or photocopies. I choose nursing and I studied in Riverside College, and it's quite expensive. My mother owns a small business in the public market, and I am proud that I grew up in Bago City Public Market. My father works as a Philippine Navy, and he earns not that much to send both of us in college, and we also have other siblings who are still studying or who are still in elementary years. I saw how both my parents struggled just to give us the good education that we wanted in the schools that we have chosen. Yes, we have the freedom to choose whatever course we want to take and whichever school we want to go to. And that's how I am proud of my parents, because we always have the right, we always have the decision in life. So since it's difficult for us, I took the examination to have the scholarship, and luckily I got 100% scholarship, but it's just for the tuition. Like, the tuition is only 10 or 20% of overall cost or expenses in school. The miscellaneous is really expensive, and you have to pay for the books, the uniform, and nursing has different uniforms, a lot of expenses really. I saw how my father struggled, loan here, loan there, with like we I can remember that he only have like 1,500 every 15 days salary, and how my mother struggled to budget that. So I really have that thought in mind that I will study hard. I even remember that he sold his house in Manila and his jeepney, his favorite jeepney, just for me. So I really felt guilty that time, that I felt that I am taking everything away from my family, and it's so unfair. So I have that thought in mind that after graduation I will work for 2 years in the Philippines and I will really go abroad, because we know for the fact it's a reality that we are paid much higher abroad compared to our country. So I after 4 years I graduated. I took immediately the board examination, and luckily I passed. I applied in Riverside Hospital, and I took the 2 years experience and applied to Saudi Arabia. I always wanted to help my family. I have still two sisters. That's why I went there to help my father to send my two sisters in college as well. And luckily, thank God, I fulfilled all the dreams. So, going back to the topic, why I choose to say yes to take this challenge today. Because last year, February 2020, I was in Subic. I decided to learn a new language, a German language. And it's really, really hard. We have the same setup in school. Like, we have physical class, we have a classroom, we have German teachers. The class is only half day, like 8 o'clock in the morning until 12 noon. And the remaining days, you will have to make use of that time either to self-study or you wanted to rest. The decision is yours. There comes the lockdown. The Philippine government announced that there will be a lockdown throughout the country. And we were shocked. Like, we are in the forest with all the monkeys everywhere. Every day, all you can see are monkeys or birds and a lot of trees. Really, it's a forest in Subic. They told us that they will allow us to stay in the dormitory since all ports, airports, seaports are all closed and we can no longer go home. But we are told that they are not even sure if the food that they have in stock for us will be sufficient, or if ever there will be delivery of food since it's lockdown. So with that, I panic. I became so frustrated. Why? Why did I come? Why did I choose to learn this language? Why did I came here? So we went on a panic buying and then we bought everything there. Everything changed. The physical class changed into an online class. Online class, like, it's all up to you if you wanted to listen, if you wanted to take part on the lesson. Or you will just sit there, go online and do nothing. You can just use your phone for translation if ever you will be taught to. I really had a hard time since this is not what I envisioned. Learning a new language at my age, I'm already old. It's really difficult. Like, I have to learn from the scratch, the alphabet, the numbers, everything. So I complained, I rant. And after some days, I came into a realization. Why would I complain? Will it make a difference? Instead, I turned this challenge into a possibility. Like, I turn it into an opportunity and make things in a positive way. So instead of ranting, why not focus on your study? Why you are here? This is your mother's dream, yeah, playing a good daughter role. This is actually my mother's dream for me to work in Germany. I only said yes because I wanted to challenge myself if I will be able to learn the language, if my mind still worked, since I already been out of school since 2008, the last time I graduated in college. So the 4-hour online class, I took it really seriously. And after that, I self-study because 4 hours learning the language is not enough. You really have to exert all the effort. And luckily, the timetable for us for 8 months was followed. Last October 2020, I took the examination in Manila, the Bisweiflege, which is a requirement for us nurses to have the visa going to Germany. And luckily, I passed. And to cut the story short, last March 2021, this year, I landed here in Germany, fulfilling my mother's dream and my dream as well. So, this is what I'm trying to say. That if you really wanted to reach your goal, you just have to exert an effort. You just have to be motivated. Like, you have to do everything you have so that you'll be able to reach whatever goals you have. And look at me, I am a symbol that whatever dreams you'll set, whatever age, I'm already old, I'm already 34, and yet I set another dream, and luckily I finally reached this dream. You have your parents with you who will always support you. Like this one. We today symbolizes that you are all winners. You are all part of history. You all survived the challenges this pandemic has brought us. This will never change. Like, it doesn't mean that we are COVID survivor just because we got ill and we recovered. No. It's how we survive, like studying through the modules. Your parents will just pick it up in the school. You have to answer everything, you have to do the self-study. But if you really wanted to learn, you can do anything. Like, in learning, you will never lose anything. Instead, you will gain knowledge, and that knowledge will never be taken away from you. And parents, I know how hard it is risking your lives every day going, or every Monday going outside of your home to take the modules from the class teachers and return it the next week. And I know how hard it is for you to discipline your kids to answer or to fill up all those modules, especially during the quarter exam. And so I saw that when I was in the Philippines with my nephews. And I really salute all of the teachers, the Department of Education, for really trying their hard to give us, or rather to give our future leaders, the future of our country, the good education that they could give. So again, congratulations for achieving another milestone in your academic studies. And I hope that I have given you some motivation that whatever life may bring us, whatever challenges may come to us, whatever pandemic, we are strong. We will all survive this, and it is all a matter of mind conditioning. I really believe in that if you condition your mind that you want something, and you will exert an effort, you will be motivated, you will persevere to reach the dream, you can do it. The world is so big, you have to explore, soar high. And again, congratulations. And congratulations also to the parents. And thank you for inviting me. I guess I need to stop. I talk too much. So, again, a pleasant afternoon.